Take us away, Sammy B.
Clap.
Oh, clap. You clapped, so it's fine.
Right. Ready?
Yeah.
Hello, and welcome back to episode 5 of the Band Meeting podcast with me, Sam, and
Jack. I like only having to say just my name. In the
yeah.
intro. It's quite good.
That's only because as I was saying it dawned on me I hadn't prepared anything. Yeah, hadn't heard a funny little quip about you being my gorgeous co-host or beautiful assistant.
Beautiful assistant.
Note for next
Well,
time.
that's what I am. A beautiful assistant.
Exactly.
You got to have one good-looking person in the team.
Yeah. 50% have to be good looking.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So thank God for you. Anyway, how you been?
Yeah. Not too bad, thanks. Yeah.
You're good.
I was just admiring your jumper.
A new jumper.
New jumper.
What do you think about it?
I love it.
Thanks.
Very colourful. Very really brings out
Bit
the
out there,
vibrant.
isn't it, for me?
Yeah, it brings out the vibe.
I got a bit nervous walking to the Sainsbury's earlier.
I think
So
people
I thought
were
everyone
looking
was
at you.
staring at me. Yeah. Look at this guy.
Yeah. They would, if they were only thinking, God, that guy has a great jumper.
Yeah,
Do you
that's
know what
true.
I mean?
That's nice. However, I don't know if it's just my biology physique. I don't know. But sometimes when I get, and it's specifically jumpers, they don't sit well over my top half. And it makes me look like I've got big breasts.
Big
Beautiful breasts.
beautiful
Yeah.
breasts.
I don't know. This one, I think it's sort of outlined by two little triangles, which look like kind of a skimpy bra, maybe.
Yeah.
But
That's
yeah,
cute.
no, I don't know. Does that happen to you?
No, because I have pecs.
You don't have breasts.
I have one.
Maybe it's just
I have
the
big
problem
manly
is not
pecs.
the jumpers. I need to work on my upper half. Anyway,
Or not,
or not. Whatever.
do you,
yeah,
Sam.
so it's a nice jumper, isn't it? It doesn't fit as well as I'd hope, but
No, it's good.
You know.
I like it. It really brings
guess
out
the price. That could be a new part of the show.
Guess the price.
Guess the
Dun, dun,
price.
dun. £8. 4.
£4 exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. Thought you were going to go down incrementally rather than just blow it on the first one. Anyway, yeah, £4. Charity shop,
Love that.
Salvation Army.
Oh, always
Bognor
give it to a
Regis.
good cause.
Used to be like a mecca for charity shops, Bognor.
Really?
Yeah. About like 10 years ago, it was amazing. I used to go back for Christmases and on Christmas Eve go out and buy everyone something from the Oxfam one, and everything there was £2.
Really?
Yeah, like a toy that would be like 10p. It's £2. But then this like huge like suit, this is £2. So it's great.
Oxfam's like the high end one now. It's more expensive.
Is it?
Yeah.
Actually, do you know what? I think it was. The Bognor one just hadn't caught up. Bognor doesn't catch up quickly. Love
it
the
likes
place.
to sit exactly where it is.
Yeah, it knows where it is.
doesn't
and
like
it's
change.
happy. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You can take the boy out of Bognor.
Brilliant. Well, we've got a jam-packed, podcast this evening. We've been getting a bit of feedback that people really like the sort of when we get deep into it, when we get down and dirty with the details. So yeah, we're gonna dive in a smidge quicker into let's stay tuned if you want some real big hitters, I would say.
Yeah, early on as well.
Early on, yeah.
We got real deep questions that's gonna bring it all out of us, I think.
Like you'll still need a bit of patience, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, it is only episode
Exhibit
5.
A.
Exhibit A. Yeah, really quickly into the podcast.
Yeah. So
Anyway, so would you like to start with the comments and questions from last week's podcast?
Of course I can, Jack. Fan favourite of the show.
It is a fan favorite.
It is
of the show.
the most popular segment of the show. It is comments and questions, and I've got to stop hitting the lead in this because it's going to make a right clunk.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we got loads of questions and comments this week from the viewers at home.
Lovely.
And so I've got them up on my iPad. So I've picked out three comments, 3 questions, as always.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't fix something that ain't broke.
I'd love if it was 2, but
Just get it quicker.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, no, but this is part of the show now. Whether you like it or not. I like it. It's my house.
Your podcast.
My
I'm just
podcast.
your assistant.
My podcast, my band. Oh yeah. Also, I've realised we never point out that we're in a band called Thrillhouse.
Yeah.
Which is the entire reason for doing this, so that you will then watch this, which you're not, and then go, oh, I like that. That's brilliant. I'd like to hear their music, and then go over to Spotify and listen to the music.
Yeah.
So far, an extremely unsuccessful endeavour.
Yeah. Thrillhouse, Spotify. Yeah.
Exactly.
Bringing those
with
streams.
that out of the way, we can move on to comments, questions. As I say, 3 questions and comments from the audience at home. Can't remember where I found them, but
YouTube, isn't it?
probably.
Yeah, sure. All right.
Anyway, so Brian. The first one here is from Brian, and it's comment.
Where's Brian from?
It's Hayward Heath.
Nice. Oh,
Hayward Heath.
always local. Love it.
Always local. This one's on the Thames Link
We're
up towards London or
a real
Cambridge.
community podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Brian says, I loved this so much. Such an eye-opening look at the inner workings of the music industry. I always thought that music was just that annoying sound in the background of TikTok videos. But after listening to you guys, I can now see it so much more.
Ah,
Isn't that nice?
he's probably quite young.
Must be quite young.
Yeah.
Quite young if TikTok, if he's like, well, I don't know, TikTok's pretty broad, isn't it?
Yeah, but people were exposed to music before TikTok. So
Yeah. Brian must be.
must-
It's quite
he
an
must
old
be-
name. I don't think there's many Brians under 60.
Ah,
Do you know what? I know a Brian.
under 60?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I don't know why I said that.
All right.
Sorry, Brian's.
Sorry, Brian's around the world listening.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah. Sub 60 Brian's. Apologies.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's nice. Cheers, Brian. Hopefully, you'll,
Hopefully we'll get a few more listeners.
it won't just be
thinking that way.
annoying sound in the background of TikTok videos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, phone on silent, mate. Martin from Arundel.
Oh,
Yeah, nice town.
lovely castle.
Nice town. Castle and
Massive castle.
got something else, I think.
No, it's just a castle.
Just a castle. Anyway, yeah, it's very nice. I went there with my mum and dad not that long ago.
Cool. Do you see any jousting? They do jousting there.
What, like
Yeah, they do
700 years ago? No, I didn't
All right,
see.
what-
I didn't see any jousting, Jack. You've been here. You've been over into the UK for about 8 years now. And, have you ever seen a jousting?
Yeah, well, you guys are still stuck in the Middle Ages,
Yeah.
so
Anyway, yeah. So Martin from Arundel writes, "Wow." Well, you can say that again.
I think that's literally what someone else said.
No, they're always very similar.
Oh, right. That's so weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Strange how it all works out. Yeah, so I don't know what it is that we've said that struck a chord with Martin, but glad it did. Cheers,
Right,
Martin.
Dave. All right, just a quick cut. 'Cause I just wanna, when you're editing.
Next up, Jackie boy, we've got one here from a Dixie Normus. From a Dixie Normus. Hey, give him a chance, man. You do this every week. You never know. So Dixie Normus says, "This is probably the best podcast I've ever seen.
Wow.
Funny, clever, and smart." Wait a sec. ... Not! Oh, mate. Not again. Trolls. Anyway, might as well finish it off. Dixie Normus then says, "Why are you two dum-dums still flogging this rotting excuse of a horse? God's sake. You're an embarrassment to humankind, the animal kingdom, and any alien races that might present themselves to us in the near future.
Wow.
I hate you."
I mean, that is clearly...
Oh, man, it's every week now. There's a different clear troll, because I never get it from the name Dixie Normus, because when you read it, it's Dixie, then space, then
Yeah.
surname Normus, both of which easily plausible names.
Enormous.
Yeah. We don't know.
Mr.
Like, could be
Normus.
Roman? Italian?
Italian. Roman.
Yeah, they're all a bit biggest dickus, aren't they?
It's good. Well, I
Yeah,
mean, you know what?
Anyway,
It's
yes,
the
sorry,
only
we're annoyed about this,
is
though.
Is the only honest
Yeah. I'm guessing it's the
Commenter.
same. Let's hope it's the same person. Otherwise, we've had like 4 trolls already, which, that's a high percentage of trolls to comment ratio.
Any exposure is good exposure or something like that.
Yeah, that's true. All press is good press.
That's the one I was.
Yeah, I mean, if it's the same person, it's the same person who's watched 4 times. So,
Thank you for watching.
yeah. Do you know what? Thanks, Dixie Normus. Anyway, you wanted to speed this whole bit up. Slow right down.
That was quite funny though, to be fair. So
Next up, we got the questions, and the first one here is from Glenn.
Ah.
We don't hold on. From Tunbridge Wells, it's Glenn.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show, Glenn. Well, thanks. Nice to hear from you, Glenn. Glenn says, "Hey, Jackie. Looking good, hun." Wink emoji. It's been 2 weeks now, and I'm still getting so many lovely compliments in the office. Best t-shirt advice ever.
Oh wow, okay. Commenting about the t-shirt twice.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, you're a fashion guru. I took a selfie of me wearing it. I wondered if it'd be okay to get your address to send you the pic. See ya.
You can send it to the show.
Send it to the show.
Yeah, email address. Yeah.
Yeah.
Send a digital version to the show.
You don't need to send it in the post. Didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, send it to the show. We have an email address.
Yeah, and I'll be happy. I mean, if if
Actually, no, don't send.
If it's nothing silly, I mean, like we could always put the
don't
picture
send
up.
selfies to our email address.
Well, maybe we could put them on the show.
No, you don't want to start getting into that sort of thing. Photos being sent.
No, okay. Well, Glenn.
Slippery slope.
Glenn. I'll make an exception for Glenn.
Okay. Maybe I think we're going to cut all that bit.
I've been instructed to say by Sam, please don't send us anything in the post or email.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That'll do. We got it all now.
Yeah.
So thanks, Glenn. Nice to hear from you. If
Don't send anything.
Don't send anything. And yeah, you know what?
But keep watching.
Keep watching. Yeah, please keep watching.
Please, dear God.
Barbara from Angmering. Bogging the line again. Barbara asks, did you know that animals that lay eggs don't have belly buttons?
Oh my God.
I know.
That's so true.
Why would they?
Yeah, there's no umbilical cord for an egg.
It would be useless, yeah. Make any sense.
I don't have a belly button. Do you think I was in an egg when I was born?
If that is your attempt at humour, God help us all. Anyway, thanks, Barbara. Next,
all right.
Next up.
Good.
No, sorry, there is one more.
Good fact.
Good fact. There is one more. Then it's over. And we'll be right into the meat of the podcast. Nice and snappy.
Brilliant.
All right, we've got a Tony from Brighton.
Nah.
Yeah.
I don't know a Tony from Brighton.
You don't? Tony asks, Jack, have you got the money you owe me? This is the last time I'll ask politely.
Oh, dear.
Well,
I'm not sure if this is the medium to discuss.
No, not at all.
Money
But
I
it's
owe
been
and-
brought up now.
All right, well, if you're watching, Tony, we'll talk in private.
Okay, let him know you're good for the money. That's like golden rule.
Well, I'm not going to say I'm good for the money if I'm, I'll talk. We'll talk.
Okay.
We'll talk.
I need the other side of this. Anyway, that concludes comments and questions of the show. Thank you very much for writing in. Very grateful, as always. Sorry that was a bit long. Went on for way longer than we planned.
Yeah. Cut.
We're always learning.
Quick cut. Time check. 2.5 minutes. So I may as well bang that and then go into
What the fucking hell?
That's so funny.
There's going to be a lot of edits on this, unfortunately. So yeah, sorry about that. Camera's run out of battery. We are back. Yeah, and now go back to the agenda, please, Jack. Straight in.
Right, we're
Nice and
straight
quick.
in,
Yeah.
nice, as we promised, with like what we were discussing.
Professional podcasting, I reckon.
Yeah, at the very end of last episode, we were discussing whether we would give the advice to someone to either pursue their dreams, whether it be music or whatever, but like I guess in our particular case, music, or whether we'd actually advise against it.
Yeah.
And you sort of ended up saying that you would advise just to go for it.
Yeah.
And sorry, professional podcasting.
Yeah.
And,
That's podcasting, but
And I
professional podcasting. Christ.
I was less sure that I would give that advice.
Yeah.
Even though I think in my heart of hearts,
Yeah.
I'm on the fence, and
Yeah.
I thought we're both kind of on the fence though, aren't we? Really, like maybe some days you think, oh, do you know what? Just go. Other days you're like,
Yeah.
definitely don't.
So straight in, or was that just an introduction?
That was we're sort of in now, aren't
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
we?
Right.
So I mean, I don't like. Well, basically, like I've got a son, and so like,
Do you?
I've got a son, everyone, and when he's much
Kept
older,
that quiet.
he might like want to pursue something and whatever his dream is, and I'll be like, or he might not, whatever. But like, if he does, and he says, "Dad, I want to be a musician," like, what do you think?
Yeah.
And whether I would advise to do it or not. It's a tough question.
It is.
Having been such a spectacularly sort of
Ginormous failure.
failure of a
Yeah.
musician. So
No, the thing is, the difference is, so you're still failing.
yeah, every time
you
I
haven't even reached your bottom yet. There's still more to go.
every time I pick up a guitar, I'm literally
just
failing.
dropping down a little bit down the fail.
The minute I put that away, I'm not failing anymore.
No.
I've finally succeeded in
Yeah,
giving
exactly.
it up.
You've hit the bottom of where you're going to fail.
Wow, that's
But anyway, yeah,
nice. That's nice to think about.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we talk about this a lot, don't we? And
I think it
usually,
pops
yeah,
in.
we do talk about, like, we joke about that. I'd never advise anyone to think about picking up a guitar and joining a band,
Yeah,
because look at this.
because this is what happens.
This is what happens. Yeah,
This is what happened to me. Therefore,
you end up
therefore it'll-
26 doing a podcast,
20
millions of
20
viewers.
millions of viewers.
Do it, kids. Yeah, no. Or you end up like us.
Yeah. Well, so that's our experience.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
The problem,
Well, that's
isn't
the
it?
thing. I'm conflicted because, like, well, I mean, my stance would always be follow your dreams, kiddo. Even if
Yeah.
I think even if that's the trick, like, because I mean that I don't, I think, for me anyway, there's like, it's important to have something like to strive towards outside of, like, not just it's just for me, outside of, like, having a family, buying a house, getting married, having, like, a nice car. Do you know what I mean? I think there's something important to have that's just yours that you can, like, strive to get better at. I think that's really important. Some people don't, and that's cool. But for me, you need that kind of thing. And so I don't know how this links to chasing your dreams, but you should chase your dreams. That's what
No, but I think that is important because that's tricky because I feel like stuck in between sometimes where I, like, very much at the beginning had a very different looking future.
Yeah.
Like I studied and then got a job.
Yeah. See, we're different like that because I went from school to band,
Yeah.
and so I know nothing else.
Yeah, so I sort of, like, like just
You had a good career.
I had a good career
Yeah.
path ahead of me in terms of like money career.
Yeah.
And
And you defied your family, the
I
gods.
defied my father.
Yeah. Gave it all away.
I sort of like maybe surprised everyone
Yeah.
with the decision to be like, I actually don't want to do this at all.
Yeah.
But it's not that I didn't. It's not just that I
want to
didn't.
be a star.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just that I didn't want to do that. I had something specifically that I did want to do.
Yeah.
I think maybe if I didn't, maybe I
Yeah.
would have just stuck with it and gone, oh, well, whatever, it's all right, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I had this other thing that I was with music, with that I was like getting obsessed with it, and I
Yeah.
really wanted to do it more and more and more and more. So I quit my job and did the whole like, yeah. I was a little bit older than you were when you started.
Yeah.
Well, a fair bit older actually, really.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, I think when I'm in the sort of dark moments of like, oh, so much regret, that
Yeah.
I like look back and go, fuck, I should have just stuck with that.
Mm-hmm.
And also I've got lots of mates back home who sort of stuck with that and they're just
Yeah,
doing
I bet
fucking great.
Having a good time.
Exactly. Yeah. They're just, well, you know, like whatever the time they're having, they're like,
Yeah, but did
successful
they play
in
the
what
Prince
they're doing.
Albert to 6 people? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
We got something they can never have.
Touring around the country, playing to like literally just the other band.
Yeah.
Like-
see, they'll never experience that.
And to be fair, that is quite an experience.
It is an experience, yeah.
And I do look.
If you have like positive and negative experiences, it doesn't fit into that category.
What do you mean?
It's a negative. It's not fun. That's really bad when you have to do that.
I don't know. Sometimes it was fun when we were young.
No, I never found that fun.
Oh, when I had
anyway,
to-
that's off topic. We're
No,
sticking
it's
to
not.
topic.
It's not.
No, okay.
It's fine. It's like so. So I guess anyway. Like I think logically, I think when I really think about it, I can always come back and be like, I can't really regret that because it was like I had a lot of fun. There were also a lot of pitfalls and stuff like that. But like I did that and I like followed the thing, and the problem is it didn't work out, and I've been sticking to it for quite a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm now at a point where I kind of have to reconsider or rethink everything, and where a lot of other people at our age are sort of actually like peaking
Yeah.
in their career or whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
So I'm like really like starkly looking at them where I used to not be jealous, and now I'm like, oh, I can find myself getting envious of that.
Yeah.
And people that are just kind of like seem like they got their stuff together. And I'm like, wow, that could have been me. And I specifically chose not to do that.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe I'm paying a price.
Yeah.
You know? So I worry that I'm paying a price.
Yeah. You
But,
upset
you know.
the wrong god.
But I think to be fair, I just couldn't bring myself to like say to someone
Well, yeah.
not to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like-
even if you went like if you were really disillusioned by music and you were going to tell, I think like you'd be really be a real dick if you did that. If you went, don't follow your dreams. If that was your
No, but you could
that
do
was
it
your
generally.
words of
Like,
wisdom.
I guess, like,
yeah, of course you're never going to say that.
would I say, okay,
Would you be like, well, you got to think about all the things that could go wrong, and this life could be, you know what I mean? You would.
yeah, I wonder.
you know-
I wonder if I would try and. Give
I think
them,
you're 100% chase your dreams, or you're not.
maybe.
If you can, like, I don't think I'd ever add in, but of course, it
Yeah,
can go, you know,
that's-
it
but
can be
that's-
pretty painful when it all goes wrong.
Yeah, but that's kind of what I'm saying. Is I can almost say this is my experience, and like, you know, I did
Yeah.
this, and then I came off this, and yeah, I regret it for a while. I guess, like, hopefully, in a few years' time, I'll be able to say, like, with more certainty, that it was fine to do it.
You can look back positively.
But maybe it'll just get worse.
Yeah. Keep picking that guitar up, bud.
Yeah. Keep failing.
Put it back in the cupboard. Leave it.
I know, but I was even like I had an MRI today, and I
Yeah.
was just lying in the machine, and I was just like, I had a song going around in my head, and I was like, then picturing myself like playing and producing the song, and then like thinking about playing it live, and just like
Pipe dreams, buddy.
I know. Do you know what I mean?
Snap
and then
out of
like
it.
the MRI sort of finished and like the noise stops, and I was just like, man, how can I still
your head out
be
the
so
stars.
delusional? It's absolutely mad.
Yeah.
I know. But anyway, so what you're saying is you would just without caveat just go absolutely
Follow your dreams. Yeah, absolutely I would, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
because it hasn't worked out for me. So
Yeah.
like, I don't know, I guess usually in lots of things you'd go like, don't do that because I made the mistake. But like, you know it can work out for lots of people, and there are lots of fun aspects to like, you know, being in a band.
Yeah.
There's some good bits along the way. I guess you just have to.
Of course,
I think
yeah.
the trick to it is to like try and enjoy those moments, like maybe for what they are. They're happening right now, and that's that. Don't because I said before, I was always thinking, what's next?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. If you play a really good gig to loads of people, you're like, just enjoy it. Don't think, great, next time we play here, there's going to be 10,000 people.
But then you're sort of advising them to like,
Have realistic.
Yeah, what you're talking about is like
realistic goals.
very Zen, very Buddhist. Like,
I don't know if it is.
be in the moment. It is.
Yeah, but I don't
really
mean it
enjoy
like
the
that.
moment that you're in. Don't think about having expectations for the future, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's hard to square that with ambition
Yeah.
because, like, let's say, actually, you know, we could go deep. If the kid is like in the band and it's kind of going well, then you definitely never say like, don't do it. But like, you know, they probably would want. The kid probably would come in with the aspiration that because they've seen like rock stars and they've got music that they follow, and maybe they'll come in with an aspiration that they'll do really well.
Yeah.
And it's tricky to also be like, yeah, but, you know, remember, it's a real slog. It can be a real slog, and like, you know, you probably won't hit those aspirations that you're thinking about. Like, you're sort of immediately at the beginning almost telling someone to lower their expectations.
But your attitude must change when you have a kid, because like you have to think, like you have to balance out like the idea of doing something that's really unlikely to happen. Like that's what you did, and it hasn't worked out, and it's been quite other than some wonderful moments, it's been quite painful experience.
It's been quite a painful
and
experience.
So like I guess I don't know what it feels like to have a kid, but I can imagine you're like, I want nothing bad to happen to you.
Yeah.
So like offering the advice of joining a band, you're like, I can guarantee bad things will happen to you. So like it must change your attitude a bit.
Yeah, it's tricky, isn't it?
You know, so we're probably like in different places there anyway. I would maybe my attitudes would change like depending on person to person anyway. Like if you took you, who's like early 20s, got like a really good job, really, really content.
Really good career prospects.
Yeah, but just like a bit greedy and wants more.
I mean,
maybe my advice would be stick at it. You got a good thing going here. Do a band on the side for a bit of fun.
Okay, like, can I, like, so.
But like me,
yeah.
like I am a thicko. I'm dumb. Like, in all ways, but particularly educationally. I was terrible.
I think probably you just didn't try very hard.
I never try hard. No. But like maybe someone like me, you'd be like, yeah, follow your dreams, man. Because like there's nothing else. Go for it, whatever.
What about? But maybe you could be like, no, just do something that is more like physical or doesn't require your high grades.
If I hadn't been a musician, I guess I probably would have learned a trade.
Right, yeah.
Well, I would have tried to. I don't know if I was, I'm not capable, but that's probably where I would.
Right.
Like, I had no other ideas.
No.
From like 14 to 18.
But how are you meant to have ideas at that young? It's so young.
No, yeah.
It's tricky, isn't it?
But I didn't have anything else I was even remotely good at anyway. So it wasn't like
it's amazing.
There was another subject at school that I could be like, well, I was all right at that at least, so I was just rubbish at all of it.
What'd you get?
I remember when I came here, I came to BIM, the Brighton Institute of Modern Music. I won't disclose my feelings towards it, But I remember I got in. You have to do an audition, and I played "Stairway to Heaven."
You did not.
I did.
I love that.
I did. I played "Stairway to Heaven."
Did you
to
play
a
the
backing
solo?
track. Yeah. I had a little,
yes.
I think I had a little pedal, like an amp
wicked.
changer pedal.
Oh, that's so good.
And then, anyway, I got in past the audition, and they sent a letter saying that I just had to get a C for my A levels, 1C, and that was all cool. I was likely to get a C in either design and technology, or that was probably it. Actually, I ended up getting a C in music, by the way, in A level, which was hard.
Okay, yeah.
But
yeah.
hardest thing I've ever done ever.
Yeah.
But anyway, and then towards like the end of the year, for some reason we got a letter in the post saying he needs to get 2 C's.
Oh God.
I know, and my
Pressure's
dad
on.
was like, "Oh God, he's screwed." And he got on the phone to BIM and stuff, and like said, "Look, you can't do this. You told us, we've got it in writing. It's a C.
Yeah.
Wow. We are sticking to this," and they agreed, I guess, because maybe they had to.
Right.
And then just because he was so worried.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
there was no way.
Wow. You really.
I ended up getting to see music.
You really didn't like sort of the academic aspect of school.
No. I didn't mind it. I'm just not very clever.
You are though, so it's weird.
I'm not very. I didn't work very hard.
Yeah. That's yeah.
I remember very early learning like that the consequences didn't match, like the consequences of doing something like not doing homework
Yeah.
never matched like the reality of doing homework. So
Yeah. Oh yeah. So
yeah.
like it was never, the consequences were never bad enough that you were like, oh, I
Yeah,
should probably
that's it.
do it next time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So are you saying they should like actually ruling by fear?
Ramp up the discipline. No, keep it this way. Some people are going to do it, and some people ain't, and that's life.
Yeah.
And I was a don't do it. It's
were a
fine.
don't do
The system. I mean, there's loads wrong with the schooling system, but that's not what this podcast's about.
You were wrong.
But
You were wrong for
I
the
didn't do it.
schooling
But yeah, I just
system.
remember
Yeah.
like coming into German. I did German in like year 7.
Yeah.
And it was like really early on, and it was the first thing we got set homework for. And it's probably something really simple, like just literally copy out this German word from the textbook. And obviously I didn't do it. And I remember on the bus in the morning just being like,
Yeah.
oh God. Like I've seen detentions in movies. Like,
Yeah.
They look bad.
For some reason, they're
I'm going to
so
get
bad.
wedgied. I might get
Oh,
bog
yeah.
washed. There's going to be really big, older, scary kids in there. And I was
Yeah,
so
yeah.
scared.
The bully.
And
will be
then,
there.
the bully will be there.
Yeah.
Leather jacket.
Yeah.
Not
Oh,
even allowed
yeah.
to wear them. It's not even uniform.
So badass. Still wearing it anyway.
But then, I spent the whole morning like terrified, got in, and then the homework, the teacher didn't even
Just didn't even check.
Didn't even ask for it.
Really?
And I was like, what did I worry about?
Oh, wow.
And
That's
then
incredible.
same thing happened like the next day or a couple of days later, and I was really scared, a little bit less scared, but still scared that I'd messed up.
Yeah.
And then she didn't ask for mine. She asked for like 3 people's to like give whatever it was to like
Yeah,
give
yeah,
their
yeah,
example. And I was like, I'm not even going to get asked. And then the longer oh no, it's time up.
That's it. It's time up.
And then the longer it goes on, you realise that even detention ain't that bad. And doing
Yeah.
homework, you're not going to get caught 70% of the time, and doing it is shit.
Yeah.
And the consequences aren't bad enough. For me, they weren't anyway.
Yeah,
I didn't
right.
mind staying an hour after school. That was fine.
Yeah.
'Cause
Easy.
I gained
I
like
always
8
was
hours
anyway.
after school
Yeah.
on average by not doing the homework. So it made total sense.
Perfect. All right.
Anyway, right. Back for number 3.
Clap.
Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Yeah, as you know, we only have cameras that can do 20 minutes at a time, so it cuts out. It's really annoying. What are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
Professional podcasting. Happens to all of us.
101. Happens to everybody, yeah.
So anyway, I think, we were talking about whether we give advice to people.
Yeah, and you sort of, yeah. So what
yeah.
was your, like, you had one more thing that you wanted to sort of, thick skin.
Thick skin. That's one thing I would tell people, that you have to grow a pretty thick skin pretty fast
Yeah.
in this game.
Yeah.
Because it is just relentless nose.
Yes. Yeah.
Non-stop nose.
Yeah. Do you know what? When we came over here, I booked my first European tour, and I booked it all myself, 6 nights in
Yeah.
a row. And
Impressive.
It went, and it was And like it was, I wouldn't say easy, but like way easier than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
Like I was hitting venues directly. I had no booking agent or something. And I did it in a nice little circuit. And we had a 6-day tour. It went really well. And then we went home. And then like for the next EP, I just did the same thing. I was like, great. So, you know, that far in advance, I emailed and I literally this time, I first emailed like the same venues and then like some others. And I got nothing from any of them.
The gigs were that bad.
Hey?
The gigs were that bad.
Yeah, exactly. And I then was like, okay, I just need to cast the net wider. And I just, you know, it takes ages because you literally are like looking up towns and then being like, what venues do those towns have? And it's probably a stupid way to do it. But like, that's the way I was trying to, that's the way I ended up doing it. And like, I think I sent out like probably 200 emails.
Yeah.
And I think I only got like 5 responses and only 2 of them were even interested.
Right. Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my God, this is impossible.
Yeah.
And then I did reach out and managed to find a European booking agent who was like working with way smaller bands and was keen to like book some stuff for us. And then we ended up in, you know, going to Spain. And that was really cool. But like, to like just the lack of response, just nothing.
Yeah.
And the no's and the like, not to mention obviously when you release a song and you send it to blogs and stuff and people are just like, whatever, not interested.
I send like 500 emails every song we release.
Yeah, well, at the start, weren't you doing like of like 2,000?
So a friend that works in PR gave me a list of like 2,000, probably many defunct blogs.
Yeah.
And so I used to email all of them. It took like 2 days. Do it over the weekend.
Yeah.
9 to 5. I ended up getting like locked out of Gmail for a bit because of it, because they thought it was spam, which I guess it kind of is, but it's not really. But every time, every like major radio, every producer gets our song in their email. You get nothing. Actually, that's not true. You sometimes end up with like someone giving you a nice no, which is all right, which is nice. And I'm really grateful for those people.
Yeah,
you know, I know everyone. You know, these people are getting like thousands of emails a day.
Yeah.
You know, you seem to think that like they've just looked at yours and gone delete. But like, you know, probably go straight to trash.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, no, it was like we were like looking at ways of like trying to put a little tracker in your email to say that it's been clicked on.
Yeah, just out of curiosity.
Yeah, just be like, are people actually clicking on the email? Yeah. And then like, it all started to feel a little bit
creepy.
Yeah, creepy.
At that point, it's getting a bit strange.
So I was a bit like, I don't know if I want to go down that road.
Yeah, but we didn't. But yeah, and
also,
I knew the album. I sent the album to 100 record labels, like from the top to the bottom.
Yeah,
and just actually, do you know what? Of all the people that were like politest, record labels were the most.
They were super responsive as
well. Super responsive. A lot of people. We got a lot of very nice no's.
Yeah,
I really pleasant.
I was shocked at just how many people just bothered to respond.
Yeah, that was quite nice actually.
Because I was like, why?
But it's still a no.
I know
it's still a no.
In some ways, I am like, why would you bother to even say?
No, it's nice to receive a response.
It also,
I know people don't have time, but you know what I mean.
It also means you won't bother them again,
and it means you probably won't bother them again. But so you have to get a thick skin fast if you're, especially if you're dealing with like.
But that's how you develop a thick skin.
Yeah, I guess I probably didn't have a thick skin.
You can't just
start. No,
be told to have a thick skin and have a thick skin.
Grow a thick skin, can you?
No, maybe you could maybe in the future they'll have like a skin you can put on, but for like a mental thick skin.
Yeah, just thicker one.
Okay, stop there for a sec. I'm just bringing that again. I felt like this actually was kind of segueing into the second topic,
which is
you
did the agenda this week,
which is
we're running seriously late. Yeah. So well done on keep us in time.
Finances,
you failed the test.
I was thinking like about how you kind of need a thick skin for like spending money and it achieving nothing, like in the form of like PR or like even if sometimes you go to a studio. We had this a couple of times where you pay money and
Wait, should we just point out that we're now talking about the finances?
Yeah, I'm trying to sort of segue into.
Oh, okay, right,
yeah.
right. Sorry,
so
I thought you just
finances
jumped in.
was the next.
Yeah.
Like.
Sorry, I'm
topic.
micromanaging over here as the usual, as the usual host.
But it just
You gotta,
as we were talking about.
you go.
I like that. That's good. When we're talking about like whether you'd advise it and you have to grow thick skin, even financially, you have to be prepared to literally just like throw money away almost.
Yeah.
Or you just go really smart and sort of don't and like figure out. But we thought we figured out everything.
We thought we'd nailed it, like trying
Yeah.
to spend as little money as humanly possible.
Yeah.
And I have spent way more money than I should have done on trying to make this get
But
somewhere.
you even like start off by like spending lots of money on the production quite often because that's the way to get a good sounding record. But like, if people aren't ready to hear you yet, it's sort of like even that feels like wasteful. But it's hard, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
So anyway, the finances side. I mean, do we want to quickly? I just remembered, we are getting paid for it, so we should say the sponsor.
Sponsor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is financial.
Just a bit quicker, because
Yeah. It's
This is the
they only
thing,
they only sent me one A4 page this week.
yeah, so in a big way, if musicians want to make money out of music, they really have to sell out big time and get things like sponsors.
Agreed.
And same with podcasts, because how else do podcasters make money except to read you ads?
Read you ads,
Which I love that part of podcasts.
yeah, I know. Yeah, because we did get another one this week, didn't we?
We did.
We did. We got another
You
out of
must have-
nowhere. We've had 2 sponsors in 2 weeks.
It's like you must have delivered it quite well. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Though, actually, maybe not, because they didn't ask us again.
No, that's not how it works. It's different on each week.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So anyway, so we had another sponsor this week.
Yeah.
This time from a very different company, but a modern, moving the pendulum forward. So should we hear what they've got to say? They sent me this little
Yes.
thing to read. As I say, it's about a third the length of last time, so
Yep.
This week's episode is brought to you by an extraordinary, groundbreaking, and some may say revolutionary new product. Verrucas. We've all had them, right?
Right.
Right. Embarrassing, painful, and darn right unseemly. Well, Jack, what would you say if I told you that with this spectacular product, those infectious little bumps will be a thing of the past? I introduce to you, what's the problem? What's the problem? Is a preemptive treatment for verrucas. Simply pop 1 tablet in a glass of milk every morning for the rest of your life. Drink it down, and you'll never have to worry about verrucas again.
Not even a topical cream.
No, tablet.
Milk.
Okay, come on, they're paying us for this. We've got to do this properly.
What's the problem?
What's the problem's high-tech blend of amino acids, inflammatory agents, and other stuff gets to work fast, ensuring verrucas will keep their distance.
Keep their distance.
Yeah.
Love that.
So, tired of staying at home at the weekend? Scared of going to the local pool for a dip? What's your problem has you covered. Thwart that wart before you need a last resort. That's the company's tagline.
Oh, God. That tickled me.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't think it was supposed to.
Tickled me. A little less. And it more than those verrucas ever will, because
Because you will
I'm
never
gonna
have
be-
them again.
And I'm going to have to keep... I'm gonna have to,
Yeah, because we've been given a free batch. that we'll try out this
All
week.
we have to buy is milk.
But the thing is, you'll never know because you'll never get a Veruca again. Anyway, so yeah, go to Veruca. Oh no, they didn't give us a website actually. So yeah, anyway, great product, and thanks for sponsoring the show.
I think you can get it at Boots.
What's the problem?
What's the problem?
Did I ever tell you of the story that I thought
good.
I had a Veruca? Did I tell you this?
No.
So anyway,
Thought you had a
for like a month, my like foot hurt whenever I walked,
Wow.
and then after a while, after about a month, I had a look
After
to
that
see if
month.
it was anything. And there was what looked like, and I didn't know what a wart looked like, so I googled one, and I was like, "Oh, it looks not a wart, a Veruca." I was like, "Yeah, it kind of looks a bit like that." Anyway, so I went down to Boots. I must have told you this story. I went down to Boots,
vaguely ringing a bell,
and I was looking around the aisles for bazooka. That I just remember from a kid. That's what we used to have.
Bazooka Veruca.
Bazooka that Veruca.
Oh yeah, bazooka that.
And then this woman calls me over, and I was like, and I went over, and she goes, "Could you do me a favour?"
In Boots.
In Boots, yeah, in one of the aisles. And I was like, yeah,
God, that's
okay.
not-
You know, I'm horribly awkward with anyone that I don't know.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, of course. She's like, I need to buy some Viagra for my husband. Do you remember this? And I was like, oh, what? I was like, part of me thought this is like one of those like YouTube pranks or something.
Oh really?
Yeah, and I was like, why can't you buy it? And she said, they won't sell it to women.
Really?
And I was
I wonder
like,
if that's true.
and I was like, I mean, I'm sure that's not true, but okay. And I was like, all right.
Maybe it is true.
And she's like, and then I was like, do I have to? And she's like, yeah, you know, I'd be really grateful. And yeah, the woman, to describe her, she looked like she hadn't been to bed yet.
Right.
Maybe is the best way to describe her.
Right.
And it's 12 in the afternoon, you know, on a Saturday.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
And anyway, I'm like, yeah, okay, fine. And then
I love.
and
that
I'm like,
you
where do I
agreed
get
to
it?
This. You didn't
and then
like
she points at the you know, like the counter, and I'm like, oh, of course, I have to actually talk to someone.
Yeah, because you have to art.
I know, I didn't even think about that. And then so I walk up. Oh, and then she gives me two £2 coins. I'm like, oh, I don't know the price of Viagra, but that seems like not a lot of money to buy you anything these days.
Yeah.
And so I get to the queue, and it's just one person behind the queue. But luckily, it's just someone in front of me and then me. And then this person in front is taking forever. And this queue is backed up behind me. And I look over, I look behind, and I can see her going like this. Over the aisle. And I was like, oh no. Anyway, finally, and then it comes to me. And as I walk up, I look behind him, and I can see Viagra there. And it's like 30 quid or something. And I was like, oh, that's what it is. That's what it is. It's like, get someone into a position
where it's so awkward.
that they're, and she got the right person.
Yeah.
I would have just gone, how much? £100? Yes, no problem.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. To deal with that.
Oh, God.
But anyway, I
can't believe you even
I
agreed.
panic. And then the guy goes, hi there, whatever. And I said, someone told me that women can't buy Viagra, you can only sell it to men. That's like what I said.
Wow.
I'm trying to get out of the thing somehow.
Yeah.
And then the guy goes, yes, true.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right. And then I think I asked why. Anyway, and then I was like, okay, so I'd like to buy some Viagra, please. And then the guy looks at me suspiciously, and he's like, is it for you? And I went, what if it's not? And I can't remember what he said then. I think he just went like, well, I obviously can't sell it to you. And I went, well, then it's for me.
Right.
And then he goes, okay. Like, more like, all right. And then he sort of starts to walk away. Then he comes back and goes, look, I know what's going on here. No, I can't serve you. And I went, thank you very much. And then, oh yeah. And then as I'm at the till, I noticed the bazooka under the Viagra. No joke. I wish I could get a picture. And so that's where the bazooka was. And I wasn't going to ask him like, all right, fair enough, but can I get some bazooka, please? No worries about the
You
Viagra,
didn't
but
buy
I
it.
really do need bazooka.
You didn't.
No, I didn't
even
buy it.
ask,
I
you
never
just-
bought it. Half an hour. It's an hour round trip, probably
Oh,
half
the
hour. There.
awkwardness.
But and then I walk away past this
so
huge
good.
queue of people. I'm just head down.
Yeah.
Please, no one look at me. Fingers crossed. There's no one in there I know. Because how do you explain that, really?
So funny.
Well, I guess you explained it. I needed Viagra. Nothing wrong with that. Anyway, and then I walk past and I go past her and I go, sorry, wouldn't sell it to me. And then she goes, they must have got us or something. They must have been onto us. That's it. And then we just walked around the shop together to the exit, which is like miles away in a boot. It's like purgatory in there, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then like we're walking and she's just really nice. But yeah, I mean, obviously no reason she wouldn't be nice.
No,
but, like,
but it's so weird.
and we just chatted for a bit, and then I was like, "See you later, good luck." And she went, "Thank you."
Thank you. That's so funny.
Yeah,
I think that's one of my.
taken up a huge chunks already.
Oh
of the
yeah,
show.
but it's such like that's the best story.
I rang Mads instantly.
I can't believe. Yeah, you rang me as
I think
well.
I might have told. Yeah, I think I rang you. I think I rang about 8 people. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, that's just such a fun story. Anyway,
Yeah, I needed to remember the details. I vaguely remembered the whole. Yeah, God, the bazooka being under the Viagra.
yeah, and like people will think that is made up for the joke, but it isn't.
It isn't.
I mean, I guess
Perfect.
Boots has a set layout. If you check, bazooka's under Viagra.
She knew that.
Read my mind.
Yeah. This guy's after Veruca.
Oh my god, Jack, that's part 2.
I know.
No, that's part 3.
Let's keep going.
Yeah, let's go.
We're talking finance. You know, we've gone from the sponsor to finance. Sam's little story. You know, there's a
Took up a lot-
bonus.
Took up a lot
There's
of
a
airtime.
beautiful bonus.
Sorry
Very
about
funny.
that. Yeah.
So yeah, the financial aspect of the crushing financial aspect of getting into music.
Yeah, it does. It really wipes out your bank account.
Yeah, so you gotta, not only do you have to, you know, make a lot of time and mental space to play music,
Yeah.
you have to make time for it. So
Yeah.
either you're like a fucking
You have to. There's loads of sacrifices you have to make if you want to be in a
Yeah.
band, time wise. If you want it to
Massively.
get anywhere.
yeah, you can't
know.
just like, unless you're, I don't know, maybe some people do, but like,
If you're working 9 to 5, you've got to like, when are you going to do your music? It's got to be
Yeah.
in the evening. It's got to be at the weekends.
yeah.
And then you got, so
So there's not like, if you work, basically, you know, when we started, we all sort of agreed that we'd all try and be part-time in jobs.
yeah.
Which sort of limits
this
your
is
jobs.
your old band.
Yeah. So that we'd like, our main focus would be, all of our main focuses would be the music.
This is when you
like,
guys moved over here.
Yeah. So that was like generally agreed. And we also agreed that we'd chuck a certain amount of money in a band account every month.
Did you?
Yeah.
Like a bills account?
Yeah, we were like, hey.
Like having a bills account.
Yeah, like we were pretty like serious about like trying to, because we knew we had to pay for the producers and we had to pay for PR.
Yeah,
and
that's-
things like that.
That's like,
Yeah. I mean,
you got your finances in order.
I went to like so because I went to some like expo in Melbourne that was like a band managers mean before we moved here, and I
Yeah.
was like
That's
and
the
like,
driest thing you ever went
I
to.
know. Honestly though, like it really like every talk I went to, I was like
Yeah.
I was so fresh.
Momentum.
I was so fresh in the face. That it was
Momentum.
like you've got to book shows. And like I'm already like, okay, I've done that. That's fine. It's like also you got to think about this, and then someone will talk about it. Also you got to think about this, and it did kind of go like, oh shit, I need to like look into these things. So I did do that, and you know, I would encourage any band to be like, you got to know where the money's like you got to all contribute because it's expensive.
Yeah.
Unless you're like a bedroom producer or something like that. But even then, like, you know, if you're young, I guess, so you can hope that your parents can afford to buy you a laptop
Yeah.
that has Logic on it, that's powerful enough to run it, and an interface, and a guitar, and like lessons and everything.
Yeah.
So even from the very beginning, it's expensive.
So expensive, yeah.
And
You have
then-
you have to be super well off, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's like you see that more in music. Like you don't see many like real working class bands doing really well. I don't think you
That's
do.
way harder.
Because it's just so much hard. I mean, saying that like that's a new thing, but like, you know, who are the big bands? They're all, apart from like, you know, there's loads, but like the Beatles and stuff, Stones, but like
They're all working
lot.
class,
So
though,
many of the
weren't they?
big bands are just like from really affluent backgrounds.
These days, I think.
And these days, I think it's
yeah.
even worse. No, I think back in the day as well. But I think it's always been
Yeah.
a barrier. I mean, of course it is, but like,
Yeah, of course. I mean, like,
but it feels like these days, yeah. If you want to, because everything like music is like changed. It's like more music seems like, and maybe this is a topic for another time. Is like music doesn't feel like music now to me. It feels like I used to wait for a band's album to come out, and it was so exciting. Now it feels like it's content. Like the more content you
yeah.
have, and so the shorter it can be, like short songs, like just more and more and more. Like they're not
Short
designed.
songs.
They're not designed to like hang around or to like work together or like anything or
Yeah.
to really say much. Some people still do. Like Arctic Monkeys are a good example.
that's popular music, though. Like,
Yeah, it's
if
true.
you go, like... Yeah.
Anyway, it's another time.
Yeah.
Talking about
yeah.
finances.
So, like, you know...
Telling the kids how to get the finances
But,
order
like,
and make it.
ignoring all of the money that has to be spent in order to sort of become a good musician for the large majority of people. Like... or I'm not a good musician, like, you know,
Yeah.
good enough to like play music with other people. Like, yeah,
We could break down like what it costs Thrillhouse to function, and we
don't even play live.
we barely
That's so
play live.
expensive.
Yeah, like,
but like
for like the last gig, we did 2 rehearsals for the gig, didn't we? And because we all work,
yeah,
and so we have to find weekends that like 5 guys all our age can do.
yeah,
And then you have to do like a really long one because you know
Yeah,
2
yeah.
rehearsals for a gig where you haven't played for
Yeah.
like we did a few in May, but
so it's like 100
done one
quid
since.
plus any taxes.
it's like 100 quid.
there,
Rehearsals
travel,
100 quid, yeah.
Plus any food you eat during the rehearsal. Really, you have to think about like.
I don't know if you factor in.
No, but like you
lunch.
got to think because like you have to eat out.
Yeah.
generally.
Okay,
And
that's
like
true,
the more
yeah.
you rehearse, the more you have to do that.
Yeah.
And like,
But
I don't
yeah.
know, it's just like it gets weirdly like expensive. Hey,
There's a million things you have to pay for.
and
And
then
like
like,
us going to a gig, like we can't play outside of like the South Coast.
no,
and London.
we would lose. We could, but we'd just lose money.
We'd have to lose money,
Lose
yeah.
quite a-
yeah.
We'd have to accept that we're.
And I don't have money
To lose,
aside
yeah.
that like can go towards losing. I mean, I'm
anymore.
any more money like for something like that. Yeah, like you have to pay. We paid for recording the album sort of thing, and it like bankrupted us.
So it's like a studio per day is like easily 400 quid a day.
Yeah,
Just for the studio.
without a producer or an engineer.
Ignoring,
yeah.
well, maybe with an engineer, but like ignoring the producer unless the producer owns the studio and they do like some sort of deal.
Yeah.
And then you got to think about the mixing, which is just usually like minimum, like really cheap.
Minimum
is
100
like
quid.
100 quid.
Yeah, that's like a super mate rate.
Very mates rates
Yeah.
or someone who like
200
really
quid
likes
is like
your
a mix
band.
for a song.
Yeah,
Generally.
200 quid is like, yeah.
If you're
And that's probably
sourcing out someone to do it.
that's probably
like-
like 4 years ago.
Yeah, that's true. But
So
yeah,
like given inflation is probably like, £1,000 now or something just to like
Yeah,
for
yeah.
them to listen to it.
yeah,
Yeah. But well, I guess like we're talking about finances of like someone who's trying to be in a band.
yeah,
So if you're a producer, you can charge money like that sometimes, but obviously it's difficult
Yeah.
to get, it's hard work getting work. But like, yeah, you pay for the producer, then you pay for it to get mixed, then you got to pay for it to get mastered, which is like, for me, it's like because
yeah. We
purely-
bicker on this, don't
yeah,
we?
because I don't really understand it well enough.
Yeah.
I feel like, one master.
There's a wealth of information about it on the internet.
I have Googled it, but I'm talking about it with my ears. I'm just like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Coffee,
okay,
pig.
it's fine. It sounds like the mix, but it's louder, and that's what it's supposed to do. And you're always like, no, it makes it sparkle.
Don't say it makes it sparkle, but it does make it sparkle.
Yeah, that 500 quid worth of
Yeah,
sparkle.
that's a lot. It is,
and that's
it is
cheap.
No, yeah, but yeah, you have to get it, record it, mix it, master it, and then that's literally just getting these days. That's just receiving an MP3. Just
WAV.
yeah,
Ideally.
you get a WAV, which is much bigger.
So
Like
anyway,
10
so
times
you
bigger.
get your
actually.
WAV.
You've got a
send it off
WAV. You've got a file on the computer.
Yeah, literally just a file.
That's condensed all of the things you did in a room down into a tiny few ones and
Pathetic
zeros.
little wav.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
yeah. Nice. I hope you really put your soul into that. 'cause
Yeah. So that's what you get.
one gives a
That's what
shit.
you get for about let's say
A lot
minimum 500 quid.
for one song. Yeah.
one song.
I know, it's mad.
Let's say you're doing one song.
Yeah. And
that's bare
obviously you
minimum.
can do it cheaper, but like I'm talking about band. Like,
Yeah.
particularly.
Yeah.
But for, if for any artist who wants like a really good quality thing that's like, I guess, sounds professional.
Yeah.
It's easier these days, obviously, with all the production programs, but then you
Yeah.
got to learn all that production, you
Yeah.
know? And I have now, but
Yeah.
back when I started, I hadn't.
Yeah.
So,
So we've managed to wangle ourselves into knowing a little bit about production. And so
Yeah.
up until we did our album, we did everything as in-house as possible.
yeah. Well, it felt,
Like our
necessary.
EP was mixed and
Yeah.
mastered by us
yeah.
completely. So it was cheap. But the thing is, it doesn't sound that good.
well, I mean,
we're not
yeah.
professionals.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of like, I guess like you kind of have to weigh that up. You can have something that sounds a bit crap, or you can learn how to do it.
Better, but again, that's time and energy and money. So
time
like,
and energy and money,
I guess
and like to have the right equipment.
But I guess if you're a live band, you kind of need someone to record your. We did do a whole album ourselves, recording wise, with the other band, with Animal House, and it was live, and it took us a long time and a huge amount of effort and like a lot of production, and that's fine. But so it was on the cheap. But then we still had to pay the mixer, and so we ended up doing like a double album, so it was like 20 songs. Obviously, not everyone has to do that, and it was on the cheap. Really cheap, £100 a song. So it's still $2,000.
Yeah,
Even if you just did it only yourself.
that's
everything.
the bare minimum.
And also that meant also we had a space that we could do it in that was cheap. We had a drum kit, we had the amps, we had loads of microphones. So actually we didn't probably do it on the cheap.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So actually it probably costs like $3,500 or something. And that's doing it absolute
To do a full DIY album,
really DIY album.
other
Yeah.
than the mixer. Yeah,
Yeah, so, and then, you have to get it on vinyl, so you need their money for that. And then you have to, well, if you want to get it on vinyl, if you want to sell it merch. But just to get it on Spotify, you got to pay like another company to like get it on the streaming services, which seems crazy to me. But
yeah,
they just go when they send it out to everyone, so that's fine.
yeah,
And all this, obviously, if you're not signed.
yeah.
And then playing gigs is usually you lose money for a while, and especially if you tour, you almost 100% of the time lose money.
Yeah,
When we went into Europe, we sometimes broke even, but I think still
Yeah.
overall we'd still lose money. And like I had to do our tax returns every year because you have to, and it was just like it's hilarious because it's just like you just every year, it doesn't matter how much you made, you obviously lost way more because when you're trying to make it, you got to keep reinvesting. You got to keep you got to keep making songs. You can't just make one song. And then So you keep reinvesting, keep losing money. And I would try and see it like obviously a business has to keep like reinvesting money to like grow.
Speculate to accumulate, mate.
Exactly, mate. We know a thing or two about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And
Anyway, I don't know if we've given any information.
just kept losing
of any
money
use there, but
no, I guess we're not trying to give information. We're trying to say how financially
yeah, it's bad.
terrible.
Yeah, like over the years, like let's say over the over the last 10 years, say
Nah.
I wouldn't even know, like, wouldn't even want to know. Sorry,
No,
like,
not
how
not
much
to
I
mention like the amount of money you've given up
in work.
in work.
Labour.
Yeah, because obviously to work on the band stuff, all the work you're doing is not paid,
and you progress
obviously.
in life zero.
Yes, except for
Yeah.
in music, ideally, but you
Well,
don't
Yeah, but you don't. Yeah,
because we didn't.
yeah,
Sorry.
we didn't. No, you can.
We did well. We both did and then didn't, and then that's
That's a story from an old
imagine
podcast.
I imagine that we'll be extremely sort of well-rounded individuals at the end of all this because of all our
I think we'd just
failures.
be bitter old men.
I think you're probably right. Yeah,
I think that's more
I
likely.
think the more you fail, probably the bitterer
yeah.
you get.
Well, I don't know. Nelson Mandela just Go Nelson Mandela. Forgive and forget. I don't think he forgot, probably, but, you know, he had the worst of the worst happen to him, and he forgave them. Be like Mandela. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
What, we should be...
Forgive all
ourselves?
of the no's, all of the record labels that said no, all of the venues
I was never angry
that
at
stole
them.
our money.
I'm only ever angry at myself.
Oh, yeah. That's the hardest person to forgive.
Oh my God. Well, yeah, so I think, like, you know, finances, it's a, you know, it's a bad investment. It's a risky investment.
Yeah.
Being in a band, you don't do it for the money. That is for sure. I don't think anyone should ever start out in music thinking, I'm doing this
I'm gonna
for
make
money.
cash out of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, they've got to have a different reason. Otherwise, you know, you're in for a bad time 99.99% of the time.
Yeah.
I think I've read a statistic that, like, even like only 1% of people signed to major labels even ever like break even.
Right.
Give it because major labels, yeah, they, you know, big labels, all labels in general, they give you lots of money at the start, but it's not just giving you money. They're obviously then taking it from the royalties that you earn in exorbitant amounts quite often, in the past especially. So, like, they're putting the risk in because they might never recoup that investment. But, like, yeah, I think I read that, like, only 1% of people who get signed to major labels.
No, it can't be that.
Even break even. No, because major labels spend so much money on their
Yeah.
But when one does
the
work,
whole industry can't be based on a 1% chance.
It is when one does work, they get so
they
massive.
paid for the 99%.
Yeah. Think about how many failures there are in music.
That's a lot.
There must be billions.
That's almost 100% failure. As close as you can get.
Yeah.
No, it can't be that high, but like
I'm just telling you the facts.
where did you read that?
Ari's take.
Ari's take.
Ari, mum.
Yeah, he knows.
He knows.
He knows.
It might be updated
You
more
bought his
recently.
book.
I bought his damn book, How to Make It in Music.
Yeah, did it work?
Well, no, Ari.
Oh, it did not.
If you're watching this, he'll be sitting there watching this like, oh God, you guys just didn't listen at all. You didn't listen to one thing I said.
Anyway, that's finances. I think we're done.
You're sort of bored of this finance business, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, no, it's more like it's making me like picture things I've
Right.
spent money on.
Right, well, minute left, Sam.
Minute left until the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
We're not going to do another one.
We're never going to do another podcast. No. I don't think
We're
should
going to
do
cut it.
another one.
We were talking about maybe doing a fifth block of 20 minutes.
It's long. It's getting long.
I am getting a bit tired actually.
Yeah.
I've slowed down a bit towards the end.
It's all that talk about finance.
I talk about all the money I've spent.
Yeah. Do you know what?
Sitting hard.
I think
It's time to say goodbye.
It's time to say goodbye.
Yeah.
I think Daryl the Barrel might be joining us next week.
Yeah, he couldn't make it last week.
Couldn't make last week or
who
this
knows?
week.
Yeah.
But
So let's say goodbye because that minute will be clocking in any time soon.
Yeah, that minute.
What? We'd hear it go.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we've got 2 minutes then. You're like my mum with the kitchen clock. It still does it. Every time.
What?
It's like every clock in the house. Actually, it's not even the kitchen one. Every clock is 5 minutes fast.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so like...
Love that. That's so good.
You know, I mean, I guess that just is a thing of the past because people have got phones now.
Yeah.
But like you'd be in the car and you'd be like, I'm late. And she'd know. Got 5 extra.
Oh, brilliant.
But it's so annoying.
Yeah. I got caught
I
out
haven't
every
thought about
time.
it enough as to why it's annoying, but it's really annoying.
Anyway,
Anyway,
thanks for listening.
See you later.
See ya.
Bye.